This is Jermaine reporting for the Pound for Pound Boxing Show in association with One Boxing. I'm here joined by Michael Hunter. How you doing, champ?
I'm good.
Brilliant. Michael, absolute pleasure having you on. Thanks for taking the time to join me today, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brilliant. Michael, as I know you're in camp at the moment, ahead of your fight on June 19th against Mike Wilson. I want to ask you, how much do you know about this opponent and what dangers does he bring?
Well, I know a little bit about him. I fought him in the in the amateurs to get to the Olympics, in the Olympic trials. He was the #1 American athlete at the time for heavyweights. And I know he comes with decent fundamentals. He's not the most athletic person in the world, but he has a lot of he's a vet. He has a lot of boxing history. He's been boxing since he was young. He's been, he's a very consistent he's a workhorse, if you would call it, workaholic type of dude. So I know it's not going to be easy. He's not going to just lay down. But I think this is an opportunity for me to show up and show out.
Brilliant. Obviously, I'm sure you want to put on a good performance. How important is it for you, obviously, fighting on Triller, live on Triller? How's it important for you to put on a good show and put the heavyweight division on notice?
Man, that's one of the biggest. This is the biggest opportunity for me, because to be able to fight on a platform like that is so new to boxing, but has that history and the entertainment, and it has new eyes coming to the sport. This is a great platform for me to just showcase all of my talents and skills and enjoy myself while I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Triller is obviously doing some big things as far as viewership and stuff like that. So this is a good opportunity for me to get on one of those good cards.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about Triller. Obviously, they got a massive fight coming up as well between Teofimo Lopez and Gambosos. Fantastic fight coming up. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago, you had a friend of yours, Jake Paul, fighting on Triller. So obviously, this is a massive platform. Obviously, he's probably going to compete with the likes of DAZN, Matchroom, Sky Sports, Showtime, all these big HBO, so many massive platforms. So how important is it you to just obviously be fighting on this in terms of putting on a show and then going on to for further bigger fights?
Man, it's most important. Like I said, this is a great opportunity for me to, I've never had this opportunity like that. I've always pushed against the grain, and for it to be, for the strangle just to release just a tad bit, not all the way, but just a little bit is exhilarating for me. You know what I'm saying? It's very exciting, and I can't wait to showcase my talents and skills and perform at my best. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready.
Yeah. So, Michael, we want to talk about one fight, what hasn't materialized, has been talked about for a long time, and that's you, Filip Hrgović. Obviously, that fight didn't materialize. Would you like to shed a light on why that fight didn't happen?
Because Eddie didn't want to pay. Team Sarlin was being sneaky, and Hrgović is a punk. It's all business. At the end of the day, they're kind of mad or salty about me making a good business move on my part, but I'm out here on my own. I'm out here by myself. I'm the one that pushed for that fight. If they really wanted to make that fight happen, they could have easily made it happen. I was with Matchroom and DAZN, and at that time, I didn't have a choice to pick my fight. So I'm the one that forced the IBF eliminator. They did some sneaky stuff as far as me signing with, knowing that when they figured out I had Triller in the chamber for the purse bid, they knew that they were going to lose the purse bid, and they did some stuff that was not normal, going across the board and to trying to talk to the other side about how much they're going to bid and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good move though on their part to stop and be the only bidders. But that's what ended up happening, since they wanted everything and they got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to take what you have to take. I mean, fighters have to do that all day long. You know what I'm saying? So for Eddie Hearn and Team Starlin to not want to pay somebody and not have it on an even playing field and stuff like that, and to do, to go talk to my own sources that I was gonna have bid on the you know what I'm saying, and they never, it was bad negotiation. Well, they never negotiated, so it was no negotiations. So it was all bad business. You know what I'm saying? So it was a very easy situation to find out when Triller was still interested in me, but not interested in the bid because of the dirtiness that they have bestowed and put on the situation. They kind of opt out, and but they said they were still interested in dealing with me, and I got that type of deal at the last minute. So it was a great thing for me. But that's the game. You know what I'm saying? They're being mad at me for making smart decisions. They're thinking that I strung them along, but I actually was the one that was the IBF mandatory, not him. It was going down the list. You know what I'm saying? I was in a mandatory position since January. So I've been getting ready and training and working and off and on, just like any other every other man in boxing has been doing. So for them to not get the fight and they're a little bit mad about it, I think that they just got a little taste of their own medicine and they don't like it.
Yeah. So obviously Eddie's come out a few times and said that obviously he's been messaging you in your DMs and stuff like that, and you've been avoiding his DMs. What do you say to that? Obviously, because obviously people haven't got to hear your side of the story. So obviously everybody thinking that you maybe don't want to fight. What would you say to that? Obviously, Eddie and his messages.
I think Eddie's he tries to paint the narrative because he can. He's always in the media. He's always on social media. He's on Twitter. He's a Twitter guy. That's the only reason he even tried to contact me, is because I forced his hand, you know what I'm saying, on Twitter, and the people were getting involved, and then he reached out, but it was already far too late. He was a day late and a dollar short. So I mean, what can I say about that? It was bad business on his part. He texts me on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knows my contact. He knows where who to get in hold of and how to get a hold of me. So for him to say that and talk about that, it just reminds me of Uncle Eddie. That's the same stuff that he's always been doing. That's how he tried to get the Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight to go along, and I think he was trying to paint a narrative that wasn't really there. And now they're mad because it came smack back in their face. So these are things that are Eddie that has to learn. These are business moves that he's doing. He's forcing people's hands, and people are fighting back a little bit. So I just think that he's a brilliant businessman, and he's daring, and he's brave and stuff like that. And I think that he tends to put his hands out there, and whatever shakes, and whatever doesn't, it doesn't. So I just think that lately he's been missing. So he's gonna, he's playing the gambling game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about the heavyweight division. Obviously, a massive fight was supposed to be scheduled to happen on August 14th between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Obviously, Deontay Wilder has other ideas. He's exercised his right to a trilogy. What do you think of that? What's happened in the last couple of days? Obviously, Deontay Wilder putting in a bid for the rematch.
I mean, I think I'm not really sure what to say about the arbitration. I don't even know what they're even arbitrating about, and how that stuff is going, or what the case was. But I mean, people want to see it. The fans, I think the American fans would like to see it. I think that it was, like I said again, it was a bad business and great efforts though on Eddie Hearn's part. They got Anthony Joshua trying to point fingers at Tyson Fury when they already knew what the situation was, and I think that they knew more than anybody that who was really in hopes of trying to get this thing done. I don't think Top Rank was trying to get the fight done. I don't think Tyson Fury was trying to get the fight done. I don't think MTK Global or Frank Warren was trying to get the fight done. I think if the fight was being made, you would have had to give a lot of credit to Eddie. I think he was a lot of his doing, a lot of his energy of forcing hands and, trying to build up the fight and make the people get involved, and the power people, the money guys, the Saudi people. I just think that was him putting it all in when it goes into promotion. And I think that he just came a little short. And, I think that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. Obviously, for UK fan point, obviously, a lot of British fans are obviously upset about, obviously, that now Deontay Wilder's put his hat in the mix for a trilogy, that obviously that fight is not going to materialize anytime soon. What I want to ask you, though, is you had a recent fight in Saudi Arabia with Alexander Povetkin. Obviously, you just come out short in that fight. Some people say you won that fight, clearly won that fight. Do you think that obviously that you didn't get, because you didn't get the win, do you think that's kind of hindered you having a chance of fighting Dillian White?
Who, Dillian White?
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't have never fought me. I was no closer. If I would have won that fight, I would have been even further away from getting that fight. And the only thing is, I just allowed Povetkin to knock out Dillian White, and for him to have a little comeback and have a little story. That was the only thing that arise from. The only reason I got the draw was how they were able to continue with the fights. But they would have never, Dillian White would have never stepped in the ring with me, even to take pictures. I feel like. So I just don't, I don't see that at all. I think that Dillian White knows I'm a problem, and I'm the person to stay away from. And I think that he's going to do that.
Brilliant. Obviously, I want to ask you, obviously, a bit about you've been training recently with Jake Paul. How's that been? And can you see him? Obviously, some people are a bit skeptical about Jake Paul in terms of, is he really a boxer, or is he just doing this for fun? How good does he look in the gym? And can you really see him going far in the sport?
Well, this is nothing new this is nothing new. The only thing new that is being publicized on a big stage. But they did this to Deontay Wilder. They did this to Canelo. They gave Canelo all the right fights in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? They do this to a lot of the different fighters. If you're the chosen one and you get the right hand, then this is the same platform. This is the same formula that any other boxer has has that pedigree or put on that pedestal is going through. Deontay Wilder, and they've all done it. Anthony Joshua, they've all been prepped. So for them to try to be mad at Jake Paul, for prepping, you know what I'm saying, and getting paid for preps, that's the only thing is usually you have to pay for prep fights. You know what I'm saying? You have to put your own money up, but he's making millions and billions of dollars fighting for prep fights, fighting fights that, he has the edge on, which is that's normal boxing business. And there's nothing that's changed about that. The one thing I can tell you is he's doing everything else that a boxer does. He's having full on training camps with full on fighters. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be very difficult to compete with that. You know what I'm saying? When you have 20, 30 people around you every day and making sure you eat, sleep, and poop good, it's gonna be very difficult. So yes, he's a full-on fighter. You know what I'm saying? What stage he's in? He's in the early stages of his career. So for him to be getting these fights and these massive paydays, that's the only difference that's different. And I think that the normal boxing promoters and managers have to either get with the game or get lost, because they're the ones that kind of started this whole situation. They're the ones that, that forced the hand like this. And the people that are doing it now are not really particular traditional boxing. So I think that's why they're getting a little upset and there's a little turbulence, is because you know, the people that are in the game now are not traditional boxers. They haven't been in there for 50, 100 years. It's not Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? It's people that you know, were in entertainment and not in anything else. You know, I mean, Al Heyman was in entertainment, so they could have easily done this same situation. But I mean, they follow the same formula anyway. It's just that, you know, some people have actually taken it to another level. So I think that, you know, we just have to get with the times.
Yeah. Obviously, Salon's come out and recently said that he wants to put Maris Bradus against Jake Paul for a world title. Can you ever see that fight materializing? Or is that just him blowing smoke?
No, I think that that's too big of a step. You know, Bradus is an actual fighter. He's a real legit, you know, experienced, let's say, not actual fighter, but let's say an experienced fighter. He's been through, you know, all sorts of, you know, terrain. And, you know, so that I don't see that fight happening. He's still going to fight people who have, you know, less than 10 fights, less than, you know, and he still has to pick. He's still in the beginning stages. I mean, we all act like, you know, in the beginning that you don't fight lesser opponents and they get stronger as they come. It's just that he's making money for it. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think, I think that people should kind of give the man a break. He knocked the guy out when, you know, they had people like Dana White betting against it, millions of dollars, talking about that he wasn't even going to do nothing to Ben Askren when, you know, apparently he knocked him out with no problems. You know what I'm saying? And he did. And if you watch, he did some beautiful stuff in there, some very mature things, the way he presented himself in there as a boxer. I mean, Ben Askren had actually had fights. You know what I'm saying? He's a veteran fighter. You know, you can't say he's a veteran boxer, but he's been a champion. You know what I'm saying? This is the same thing that they were just saying about why he wouldn't knock him out. Yeah. So now he knocked the boy out. And, you know, he's still going to challenge himself. So now maybe next time he'll fight somebody that's actually a pure boxer. But, you know, shoot, if he fights a couple milkmen or a couple, you know, mailmen, you know, like I said, Deontay Wilder did it like 25 times. So there's nothing different.
I want to ask you, obviously, a fight was being talked about. They've been going back and forth on social media a lot. And obviously, Frank Warren's come out and said there's a fight between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. Can you see that fight happening?
Maybe. I think Jake might want to get a couple more fights in, get a little more experience, get a little more stronger. And then maybe, you know, maybe the fight could happen. I could definitely see it. It seems like it's being talked up on. You know, there's a story there.
Brilliant. Let's talk a bit about you. Obviously, you've done very well at cruiserweight. You've gone up to heavyweight. I want to ask you though, what's the goal now? Obviously, you don't want to look past your opponent now on 19th of June, but for you, what's the goal? Do you want to go for world title after this?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's something that's been a dream of my family's, to have that heavyweight title sitting in my home. So, you know, I grew up watching boxing and in the heavyweight division. So that's definitely the aim. You know, with all this terrain and turbulence going on and ups and downs with the heavyweight division and boxing in general, you know, me staying steadfast and staying consistent is the best and only thing that I really could do and can commit to. You know, for me in my independency, if I had, you know, I have a family, you know, we all got family and stuff like that. I feel like if I was a little bit to myself, if I was a lone shark, I think, you know, I ought to be a little bit more careless or reckless with my decisions. But, you know, we have to look out for our best interest. And I think that I've made the right decisions here.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk a bit about the heavyweight division, because there's a lot of fighters outside the champions you could face if you was to go on to push on for world titles after this. Obviously, the likes of, we mentioned Dillian Whyte, the likes of Chisora over here, Joe Joyce, Usyk. List goes
All
on.
these names though, these are all fights that I will not get, and these guys are going to stay away from me. Other than the last fighter you said, Usyk, and for a a business move right now, he's kind of in a different position. So I don't see that fight happening just yet. But those other names, they're not going to step in the ring with me. I don't see it. I would have to force their hand, and they'll probably go somewhere else. They want to get those big fights before fighting somebody like myself, where they know they ain't got no W in.
I want to ask you though, if you could pick an opponent and to fight anytime soon after your fight, Mark Wilson, who would it be?
If I had a fight, if I had my own,
if you had your own way, who would you want to target? What's the fight?
I would like to fight Dillian White.
Dillian White.
Dillian White. Who else is there? Any of these guys?
Would you come to the UK for that fight? If that fight was made possible, would you be willing to come and fight in the UK for that fight?
I would come to the UK for that. Absolutely. I love the UK fans. It's really exciting over there. I think I think it would be you couldn't do it anywhere else but the UK for that fight. Just because of my history with the UK, and obviously Dillian's from over there. So I think it would only be right to showcase that in over there.
Yeah. I mean, it would be great to have you over here. Obviously, I'm sure you witnessed it before. English boxing fans love boxing in general. The crowds are always massive. Obviously, you've got some fantastic arenas over here, the likes of the O2, likes of Wembley Stadium. You've got so many massive stadiums you could fight in. So hopefully one day we can actually see you in the UK and get on with one of these champions.
Yes, absolutely. I think I just have to stay steadfast, and you might have to see me. I might, I'm not one of these guys, that's going to be waiting. So you might end up seeing me fighting one of these young up and coming guys, real soon. I'm not sure which guys, but I'm not the type of guy that's going to be, looking for a specific type of fighter for me to fight, or a certain type of a situation. Eventually, I'm going to make my own situation. So if I don't get the right fights, then you'll see me, somebody will be trying to overthrow me, and I'll be holding my own. So you might see me again with one of these young guys, because I don't think that echelon right there, that whole little group, the Furies, the Whites, the Parkers, and all that, I don't think that I'm going to have any type of fights with those type of guys anytime soon. It's either kind of a low tier or a high tier in a sense for me. There's no middle way, because I'm in there and I'm ready to fight anybody in that situation. So I just think that it's going to be very, very interesting in the next couple months.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like I said, you've got we're not too sure what's going to happen in terms of Usyk's if he's going to fight Joe Joyce, or if he's going to have Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, or Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. It's all up in the air at the moment. I think we all have to just be patient, and hopefully we get some big fights. Hopefully we get you involved in these big fights as well.
That's right. Yeah, I'm I think I have the hardest hand to get into these fights, but I'm pushing the hardest as well. So we'll see. I'm gonna stay consistent. I'm gonna stay focused on June 19th. Mike Wilson, show up and show out, and we're gonna take it from there.
Yeah. So obviously, let's talk about the Mike Wilson fight. So I want to ask you though, before I let you go, have you got a message for your fans? You're going to be tuning in for Triller to watch your fight against Mike Wilson, and have you got a message for Mike Wilson going into that fight?
No, not really a message for Mike Wilson. I'll see you there. I hope you're in good shape, and for my fans, just keep following me, keep following the journey. I really respect you guys. I love y'all. Keep following my journey, man. It's not a short one. I've been here for quite some time, and I got a little bit more ways to go. And I just thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Michael, absolute pleasure to taking the time to join me today, man. absolute love. And I can't wait for your next fight. And I wish you all the best for your fight on June 19th.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
God bless. Take care.
One love.